Are we having our...
Welcome welcome to this edition of Las Películas Sábados Gigantes at the Cinemarijuana Theatre.
And we're all drunk.
The big Centennial celebration.
Yes,
Well,
that's right. That's right.
Which part of the quote-unquote podcast is this? Is this the 100th movie part or the retrospective?
Retrospecticus?
Well, I guess it's up to you guys.
I already yelled 100. Woo.
Okay,
Yeah,
so then this
100th
is
movie.
So I guess this is
Celebration.
So this is the retrospective then.
Oh,
so,
is it?
So we'll do. Okay.
That's the opposite of what Matt just
Either way,
said.
this
Yeah.
is the Condi wins
Exactly
part of it.
opposite.
Thank you.
Killing me
Kill
with
the
that.
blue light here. Okay.
I didn't even
Ryan
notice
Seacrest,
it.
we love
I
you.
never noticed
So we'll do tonight's movie first.
Okay, yeah.
So just to tip everybody off listening, this is a special night for us here at the Cinemarijuana Theatre because it is our 100th screening.
Big
Our
100.
anniversary.
Yeah, well, technically, I
100th
guess.
anniversary.
How is it an anniversary though? By no means is it anywhere close to like any kind of significant date.
I mean, I
just
guess
go
we've
with
had
the
more
fucking
than
Buzz
100
Killington
movies
over
if you
there.
look at it, but like
And it's been more than 100 weeks.
100th anniversary
it's
sounds so
our-
much more exciting and special and memorable.
Okay.
Our
And that's what it
700th
is to
day.
me.
Just
Happy
let her have it.
anniversary, you
Yes.
guys. I love you all.
Happy anniversary, I guess.
Okay,
Happy
so it is
100th
our 100th anniversary
Our weekly...
So is
at the Cinemarijuana
Golden
Theatre.
Oh,
or a diamond? What
do
do
we
you
need
give someone
to-
on their 100th anniversary?
Nobody's made it that far.
You give them, I don't know, a life alert,
want
like
golden
I've fallen and I
diamonds.
can't get up kind of a thing?
Do we need to do like introductions real quick?
Yes, please. So let's
I'm
do.
Kenzie.
Oh my God, who are we?
Shut up.
Jesus. Also, we've been drinking here at the Cinemarijuana
Oh,
Theatre.
Yeah,
What?
imagine
We're
that.
partying. So, all right.
It's been an all-day thing.
Let's starting to my left. Let's get introduction out of the way.
I be John.
I be Zeb.
Kenzie.
I be Condi, R.I.P. Chris.
I am Matt.
And I'm Ed. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you all for allowing us to introduce ourselves. It has been an all-day thing here at the Cinemarijuana Theatre because for the 100th film celebration, we actually programmed a little movie marathon.
Yeah, we had a pre-show before the main event.
which
I'm
cool.
very sad I wasn't here for.
Which we
we
showed.
were sad you weren't here either.
You know, fuck Toy Wars, but I love you, Toy Wars.
Yeah, no. We're fond fans of Toy Wars here at the Cinemarijuana
Yes,
Theatre.
we are.
They provided us with
Good employment
much,
opportunities.
Free
Yes.
advertising for
Yes,
Toy Wars.
Yes.
and yeah, it's been
Well,
a great relationship.
It's a great shop.
great
comic
relationship.
shop.
Absolutely.
I agree.
All right, well, back to the mini marathon.
Yes. So
Well,
we showed
go through
Getting
the
us
list
back
here.
on
All
track.
right.
just
I got to
to,
maintain order.
Just to get
Since
this on
our
record.
host cannot do it.
We started at 10 a.m. with A Hard Day's Night.
The Beatles classic film.
Then we went into.
Oh, really? You guys
the-
did a Hard Day's Night?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That was
yes.
a great
And
film.
then-
Did
Did
love that
nobody
one.
check the schedule on
I don't
Facebook?
think
Oh,
we
I
were
did.
the
I
invites.
Dude, if you
I-
knew how
I
busy
just couldn't
was
be
today
up
the
here at
shop.
10 a.m.
No, well, hey,
Come
but
on.
you showed up earliest, so I commend you for being the first to
Yeah.
arrive.
Yeah.
And making out in time to catch the last two movies of the pre-show, which is
Yeah.
cool.
Which were
Yes.
Well, let's do them in order, I guess. So we did A Hard Day's Night,
yes.
and then we did Ride the Pink Horse,
The Robert Montgomery classic from film noir from 1947.
which was awesome.
It did. Oh shit!
Okay,
And
so right
Fucking headphones are
And
falling
Zeb's
out.
referring
And
to
then,
the
uh,
Ryan Seacrest. By
The
the way.
original Blob.
Oh, I love the
really?
first
Oh,
10 minutes of
that's
that
when-
that I saw.
that is
Weird.
With
Yeah.
the original badass
Dude, classic with Stephen McQueen in his first
little
role.
Stevie
He is so
McQueen.
hot.
Steve McQueen. And yeah,
Gone.
Dr. Matlis made it out for that one, which is cool.
How
Yeah.
much did you like that movie, Dr. Matlis?
Oh, the Blob.
out of 10
Oh, it's a
would bang.
classic.
Well, I didn't know if
Oh,
you'd
yeah.
seen it before or not.
Yeah, I've seen it before.
Now, I'm sorry to hijack this a little bit, but having seen it before and having seen it today, did you feel or not feel that it held up over time?
It's probably better than it was in 1958.
It looked gorgeous,
Well,
honestly, on the TV.
I saw it a little while after 1958. But
You didn't catch on his original
What?
run?
Dude,
No,
me and John totally saw it.
Opening night?
It's packed.
Dude, it was
Taco
a bad,
show.
wild night.
We rode our dinosaurs there,
Yes.
if I recall correctly.
Time traveling dinosaurs.
Yeah, I mean, as like Kinsey is Ed's X Factor in movies,
The wild
I would
card.
say Dr. Matlis is my X Factor
Really?
for the movies. Oh yeah, because you've
Okay.
liked shit that I've hated, and
Oh,
Yeah,
vice
we have
versa,
been
and
on.
we've also liked some of the same things. So I was just wondering, like, in your
Might be kinda hit or
quote
miss with
unquote
us.
Yes.
learned opinion, like, how did this hold up for you?
Well, the last time I saw The Blob was probably I haven't seen it in a decade, probably.
Okay.
But I've just been more kind of attentive with movies and everything, like, since 10 years ago. So I feel it just, for one thing, I didn't even remember that it was Steve McQueen
Oh man.
in the role. So, like, that was kind of a bonus.
That must have been a nice, super pleasant surprise.
Like,
Yeah,
hey,
'cause I
little
remember-
Steve McQueen.
I remember
yeah.
enjoying the
Especially,
movie.
like,
you
having
know.
watched Le Mans here.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And,
Well,
you
I
know,
don't
a
think
whole
there's
bunch of other-
anybody here that's not a fan of Steve McQueen.
Is he
I've-
is he in Grand Prix?
I already said he was in the Bones.
No,
Zone.
that's
Don't look at me.
As I
Grand
look
Prix
at
is
Kenzie very
shit.
menacingly.
Let me look it up. It's what's his name? Isn't
He
it
is fine.
not Robert Wag? God damn it!
What question are you trying to
Who's
answer?
in the guy in Grand Prix? Why can't I think? It's
Oh,
not Steve
Paul
McQueen?
Newman?
Paul Newman. That's
There we go.
Oh no, I was
Another
thinking of.
badass.
I was thinking of
Step
somebody else.
with the wind.
You know that actually,
Billy Quizboy.
you know, if we could get together for a special podcast, like, and maybe this, like we've talked about on Talking Trash before, but like ultimate badasses. Like, I'd love to just have one where like we spend an hour just tossing out.
Is that
like,
going to be a
the
theme?
best badasses?
Tossing
Because,
off
oh
or
my God,
tossing
I
out?
already got
Oh
the perfect
no, we
Boom.
talked
Hey,
about
yes.
it. We
Yeah,
did
it's
we
on
did
the
talk
next
about it
movie
last time.
theme?
Yes, we did talk
It
about
could
it.
be. It could
Because
be.
after you
All
blew
right.
it, Oscar is over.
I'm-
We're going into a
okay.
free for all, and then another theme after that. And badasses might be on that. Might be the
Okay,
one.
I'm going to keep that one in my back pocket.
Because it's funny because there's some guys like you want to, there's some like automatic go-to guys. Your Steve McQueen's, your Lee Marvins,
Arnold
your Robert
Schwarzenegger.
Mitchums, your Schwarzeneggers, your Charlton Hestons. But then there's other guys like Warren Oates that like,
Yes.
dude, Warren Oates is the shit. The guy
Tulane
is
Blacktop.
fucking so awesome. Bring me the head of Alfredo Garcia. Yeah, Tulane Black. He's the first time you see him in Tulane Blacktop, dude. I was like just dying. It was the best. Warren Oates is fucking so rad.
Beat the shit out of Bill Murray in Stripes.
So yeah. And
Oh,
he
that
said
dude?
he had
Hulkaburger.
in the sequel to Mandingo Drum. He has that great line where it says something about like, oh, don't go messing with my poontang.
I don't know what
Which
like
is wonderful.
number
One of the best lines of all
references
time.
is for like Mandingo of the night for you.
I think we're on 3.
Well, it just happened to come up. It's topical. I guess.
Come
I
up?
don't know.
What?
I don't know. Yeah.
Mandingo?
I mean,
Mandingo Lives Matter.
yes.
It's a great blaxploitation picture.
So that could be a thing. Possibly. We'll see.
All right.
But right now, the first part of the podcast
Yeah,
is
oh,
gonna
hang
be
on,
hang on.
2 parts tonight.
The lead up. We haven't gotten to the last movie. We
Oh
talked
yeah,
about the
that's right.
Blob.
Talk about the
So,
Blob.
yeah,
The
Blob.
Blob.
'Cause I don't want to miss this one.
Yes.
The Blob was followed up by 1992's Baraka,
which is amazing.
which is
Once
definitely enhanced with
inebriated.
weed.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm not the type of dude that like necessarily like you got to be high to get it or anything. I could watch Baraka fucked up on anything or stone sober
Sure,
and love it.
and love it.
But I can see how it might sort of grease the wheels for some
That is
people that
true
are
for
like
this movie.
right
Look,
there,
I'll
ready
drink
for it.
coffee black, but look, I prefer it with some cream.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
And
So.
and also, I would give honorable mention to Samsara, which
Which
I'm
is the
recommending to
follow-up,
everybody.
sort
Yes.
of by the
Yeah.
same director, whose name eludes me at the moment. And then our pre-show marathon was
the 420 film.
our
was
our
Skidoo.
our 420 film was 1968,
68,
right?
yeah.
Skidoo by Otto Preminger,
starring Jackie Gleason.
Just an
And
absolute.
everybody else
Oh,
in the
Jackie
world.
Gleason.
Everybody works today.
all of
Yes.
Batman's Rogues Gallery from the 1966 TV show was in
Totally
it.
in it. Totally in it. And it is
Groucho
shitballs.
Marx.
And
Yeah.
it's very much a
Slim Chicken.
celebration of LSD.
Carol Ching.
Oh, God.
And LSD culture.
Carol Channing's breasts.
Yes, you can
Yes.
see right through her bra.
Yeah.
And
There's a lot of Carol Channing on
I'd
screen.
like to say I never wanted to bang Carol Channing until the first time I saw Skidoo, and I was like, you know what, dude, I would bang the shit out of Carol Channing. So, because she's in those really tight pants, those leggings too,
Dude,
She's
with
the
her
main-
tits, you can see her
Was she
tits.
the young girl or
No.
the,
She
or
was
her
the mom.
No,
The
she's the
mom.
mom. With the
She's the Lady Gaga.
with the tights and the bra, you can see right
John
through.
Philip
She wore the
I
wig,
was-
maybe.
Barbarella, Danger Diabolic.
I was ready to lay some fucking pipe. I was ready to lay some Broadway pipe.
You ready to
Sure,
Carol
she was-
her Channing?
She was on Broadway, right?
yeah.
I'm sure
Oh,
she
yeah.
was. Dude, that brassy broad, come on.
Yes.
You know she can belt it out so you can hear it in the cheap seats.
Well, I know that if you really want some Carol Channing goodness, go to YouTube and search for "Hello Dolly." Her rendition is timeless, shall we say?
I'm
So
intrigued.
that was our pre-show film. Now, to give a little heads up, we did things differently today for the 100th celebration. Because
How differently, Ed?
Well, let me tell you. What we did was, for the first time ever, we did our one and only ever democratic film selection.
Yes, a King of the Ring style bracket
Yeah, Starship
system.
Smackdown style. We basically had everybody bring their sort of ultimate pick. We tossed all the names into a hat, drew them randomly, assigned them randomly bracket style, like the NFL playoffs, and battled it out with everybody here weighing in on the films they wanted to see in the specific matchups.
By the way, I want to add that the entire process took about like an hour and 30 minutes.
We
Yeah.
didn't anticipate that at all.
Oh, yeah, you know what?
There
Really?
was
It
time.
took a
Did you really? Because I
long
didn't. I
time.
thought
Yeah.
like 20
Dude,
minutes.
Starship
Yeah,
Smackdown,
I
which
timed
we
it
go
because I
to
knew
every
it would be a
year,
long
that
time and I
runs
was interested.
Yeah.
Because
way over time.
right?
Every single time.
Yeah, if those Starship Smackdown guys can't do it under time, there's no way we were going to
Right,
either.
right.
Especially with our
And we weren't
ability
even
to.
we weren't even doing like arguments.
That's
We're
no.
just like we're just voting.
Well, and we take
Well, but no,
longer
but it
than
was
you would
pretty
think
fun.
for everything.
Still, I mean,
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
not
more
saying
might
I
have been
didn't enjoy
overkill.
it. It was great.
And we did trailers if we had to.
Yeah, which was actually we saw trailers for most of the stuff, other than like
Okay, you know
things
what? We
that
gotta
everybody
go through
knew.
the list.
Okay,
because-
so
Did you
yeah,
write it down?
let's you know what?
It's a man world.
Okay, yeah.
Whoa.
Okay,
Oh.
so we
Oh,
had.
oh, here we go.
Oh, hang on,
Brains
hang on. We
Kenzie.
had 12 films. Okay, so we had
Well, I
it's
took
a
a
Mad
photo
Man.
of the board.
and
It's
let's
a mad world.
let's say who picked each one too, just for the record.
Oh, you took a photo of the board?
I took a photo of the board.
Thank
Yeah.
You, John.
Oh.
Okay, so yeah,
Responsible John.
Yeah,
So
Who
good
picked
boy.
It's a Mad
it's a
World?
mad world,
And
which
that
I
was
picked.
John's
that was
pick.
me.
Oh.
And then we had Spirited Away,
That
So
was
we
That
did.
was
me.
Kenzie.
That was
Kenzie's pick.
Kenzie's pick. Yes,
Yeah.
and then we had Close Encounters of the Third Kind,
Garrett's pick.
right?
Garrett.
Versus Empire Strikes Back,
Jason Land.
Kung Fu Hustle
Snig.
Sig.
versus Stunt Rock.
That was one of the John and I collaborated on. We needed two.
That movie
we
looked
needed.
so stupid.
We needed
Dude,
two.
whatever, that
You
was
just
awesome.
leave now. Just fucking leave now.
Yeah, get out of my house.
We needed two placeholders, and so John and I collaborated on which two to pick, and Stunt Rock was one of the ones.
And then we had Lawrence of Arabia,
Boo.
That was
Was
What?
Dr.
which
Dallas.
would have been awesome.
Whatever.
Don't-
That's an
hey,
amazing
I don't
Kenzie,
ever want to watch a
Kenzie,
4-hour
David
movie.
Lean.
What are you basing your booze on?
Dude,
The
David.
fact that it's 4 hours.
It
It's
is
a
an
The
masterpiece.
woman that
That's
picked the Wolf of Wall
have
Street.
you
It does
watched
not
Lord of the
feel like
Rings?
I
4
didn't
hours.
know Wolf of Wall Street was
Ah,
that
yeah, I
long.
was saying
No, no,
Had
no,
I
no,
known,
hang
I
on,
wouldn't
hang
have
on.
picked it.
What? Okay. What about
4
Fellowship
hours
of the
is
Ring?
too long.
Fellowship of the Ring.
She was so bored.
Too long. Those
Really?
Lord of the Ring movies are
She
like
was-
so long.
She was
She was
into
bored
it.
by
She
those.
no, she was into it. But by the time we got, because she got through the Two Towers and into a little bit of Return of the King.
Yes.
By the time we got to Return of the King, she was like rolling her eyes.
Wait
She's
a
like,
minute.
I
Was
know,
that
I'm
one of those
over
times
it.
where you're doing like all three in one day?
Yeah.
Yes.
Special
Oh,
editions or
I don't blame
Special
her.
editions.
Why
No,
would
but
you
she
do
wasn't
that
even,
to
She
her?
was hardly even here for one complete film.
The problem with really long
we own 'em
movies,
all.
and using that as an example, was like that movie specifically jumped back to different characters and different storylines, but in a time period where it was too long for me to be like, to go back to it and be like, oh yeah, I forgot that these characters were a whole part of this movie. Because it took too long focusing on other things.
They watched the special edition. I was just informed.
well, yeah.
But also too,
I hate
like
long movies.
I
I
ta-
never want to see a
I
movie
tried to
longer
I
than
tried to
2
talk to her about
hours.
watching Gone with the Wind, and she's like,
No.
"Fuck that," and
I
I'm like,
won't
you
watch
know,
that.
I'm like, you understand, like girls just love this movie. It's
No.
it's like the girliest girl movie
Guess what? It's too
out
long.
there,
I
like
don't
of all
care. I don't
times.
wanna watch
So-
it. I
so
hate
for
that.
the-
watched in 2
All right.
days.
For the
Well,
record,
all right,
Kenzie does
whatever.
not like long movies.
No.
Okay.
I
Okay,
hate
Good to
long
know.
Good old Larry of
Good to
Arabia
know.
was up
You were
against
so
Forbidden
on
Planet,
pace about
Which was
Solo,
our
though.
second placeholder pick,
right? Which is
Forbidden
another
Planet,
classic,
great movie.
which
classic
almost
movie.
almost made it to the end.
ultimate sci-fi movie, which I wish had made it to the
Me
end. Though
too.
some of then was Solo, which
Yeah.
was actually
Yes.
Zeb's pick and not Ed's,
You
which
know,
was surprising.
I thought it
Yeah.
was Chris's pick.
I thought so at first
I
too.
really thought so.
But
and
then
then
Too many
I tried to
naked
hide my
dudes.
glee
Chris, yeah,
when it
Chris
came
can't
out.
handle it.
Too much
I
gay
thought
sex.
you did It's a Mad World, and I
Which-
thought Chris did
which
Solo.
You would be okay in assuming because I love that film.
It's a great movie.
It is
and
a great
like
film
the fact you were so like, you're not gonna like my movie.
because
And I
on
can see
paper
that
you
about
shouldn't.
It's Mad World, but Solo. That's like my thing.
That's
Why
my
would I not like
jam.
that?
That's
I've
my
already
thing.
seen that
Yeah,
movie,
right.
and I love that movie.
Van Vender's
that-
favorite
that-
film,
yeah.
I might add.
And Solo was going up against The Neverending Story.
Oh, fuck you guys.
Right.
So a movie
Yeah.
for kids up against a movie that no child should ever see.
And that was Chris's pick. Was
Right?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, Chris's pick. Yeah.
Chris
Chris
picked
was
the
Neverending
Neverending
Story.
Story.
Oh yeah, he was risen from the dead. He resurrected.
I thought that was
Yes.
Nick's
He
pick.
rolled
It
the
was his
boulder
ghost.
out from the cave, and
Briefly.
he came here to pick the Neverending
They
Story.
smoked
And
enough
then he probably
bowls,
died
and the spirit
again.
appeared.
And then
He
went
did.
back into the grave.
God rest his soul.
And
R.I.P.
then
R.I.P. Chris.
final matchup: The Angry Video Game Nerd, the movie.
Which was my pick.
And by the way, I
I
got a
can't
big old
believe
bag
you
of I
picked
told you
that.
so's for that one.
I thought, you know what?
I love that movie, but I knew it would go one round and out.
I-
and I told you that you'd bet off not picking that because
There-
you're going to have a hard time
I'm
convincing anybody
saying
to vote for
there's
that.
something in that movie for everyone here, and I thought the trailer would win people over because
No, it did
when
not.
we've
No.
watched that film, it is such an
trailer was
amazing,
awful.
I
fun
fucking
ride.
hate
And
The
you
trailer
tried to
does
do that
not
trailer
reflect how good
last,
the
and
movie
it just
is.
Actually,
didn't
it
matter.
doesn't.
I never thought this before, but honestly, that trailer does the movie a disservice.
Yeah,
Yes.
because
It
the movie's
really,
better.
watching it's like, oh, you know what? This isn't selling like it should be.
No, I should have gone with the first trailer, not
Okay,
the
I
second
have a
one.
question for you though, because this round was supposed to be like the one movie that you think everyone should see. And like I know for me, I didn't do that because I knew if I did pick a movie that was like what I wanted to see and what everyone wanted to see, it would never get voted for.
Well, it wasn't that I thought everybody should see. It was that you were supposed to pick what you thought your ultimate pick was for the group for whatever reason. In my case, I was picking it because
Okay,
I
well-
wanted the ultimate film that I thought would be rad to watch with this group. Because if we
Yeah.
actually watched The Angry Video Game Nerd, the movie, if that had a won today, it would have gone over like fucking Knights of Badassdom, guaranteed. And
Except I hated that movie.
But
just
everybody
hate-
else
I just
loved
hate
it.
the dude
But everybody else
personally.
loved it.
Sorry.
And yeah, but you would have been won over by the film. I'm telling you, you would have been like, you know what? Even though I'm still not going to watch these videos. That movie was
Videos
a
are
lot
all
of
the
fucking fun.
same.
But the movie is, I'm telling you, it's
Like
rad.
Movie Bob.
It would have done gangbusters here, and that's why I was like, I thought it would be the coolest, most fun thing to watch with everybody.
I guess I misunderstood the whole theme then. I thought it was like your number one greatest movie of all time for you that you want the group to see.
Well, if that's what
Best
you wanted
for
it to
the
be,
group, like-
there was
that's
also
a way
open
to
to
like
some.
interpret
that
it.
makes more
Yeah.
Yeah,
sense.
it was also open to some interpretation. So
Like most of our themes, we try. I mean, there's certain rules that you have to adhere to, but we try there to be sort of like a gray area.
Leeway.
So you're right. So there's some leeway. So you're not stuck in too militant of a decision.
right. So that's why, for me, when I was weighing out my list, and if you want, I'll go over my list of everything that I thought that I should, all the stuff that I was considering.
No.
Well, so I guess just to toss a couple out, I was also considering Song of the South.
Yeah.
I was considering Seven Samurai. Was actually my other go-to one, but I thought the percentage of people that had seen that would be high, and it's also 3.5 hours. Not that you notice it. In fact, if it's any 3.5 hour film, you don't notice the length. It's fucking Seven Samurai.
Yep.
But there's that. I also Gremlins 2 was pretty high on my list.
Oh, dude, awesome.
I would've
Yeah,
liked that.
yeah. So there
Grandpa
was
Munster.
there was no. That's actually that's Robert Prosky.
Who?
But he's
But he's
supposed
playing
to be
like a Al Grandpa
Lewis,
Lewis
yeah.
kind of character. But so, but the more I thought about it, Angry Video Game Nerd the movie is something that I would totally love to watch with this group in the
Yeah.
size, and so that's why I went with it.
I was really surprised by it though. That was my point.
And that was up against Condi's pick, which was the anime Summer Wars.
Yes.
So, I mean, I guess...
Go round by round.
Okay, round by round, yeah.
The long way. All right.
First round, and all of these were really close for the most part.
Yeah, it was like one vote decided the
Yeah.
difference.
But Close Encounters of the Third Kind knocked out Empire Strikes Back.
Yes.
Who earns?
Shockingly, Kung Fu Hustle defeated Stunt Rock, arguably the most balls to the wall movie ever made.
Which was a huge disappointment for me.
One of your disappointments from the night.
Yes, I was let down just left and right tonight.
Yes, because another disappointment for you, I'm sure, a tough blow. Neverending Story beat out Solo.
Which
Luck Dragons beat out
Bullshit.
Man
That
That is
Penis.
such bullshit.
Somehow.
Zeb, Kenzie, and I all share an affinity for that film. I think
love
we
that
all
movie.
realize
I would love
that
to watch it again.
it goes like the shock value is an artistically valid thing that's important for delivering the message, and it just is a tremendous film.
It's like they say in Futurama, you've seen it, you can't unsee it.
That's right, and it just it's like Beetlejuice said, it just gets better every single time I see it.
And then another surprising upset, Summer Wars defeated Angry Video Game Nerd, the movie.
Which really
Surprising.
fucked me
Wasn't that
off.
a landslide?
Yeah, that was a landslide. Almost a shutout.
Shit trailer.
And then we went on to the next round, then the next couple movies that got to skip got to enter it. So it's a mad world lost to Spirited Away, which is our
Yes.
second anime. So 2 animes in there.
Get it away.
Which, and I knew this was gonna fucking happen.
And then even though it was dead, actually both of those were deadlocked for a bit, but then eventually Forbidden Planet beat out Lawrence of Arabia.
Yes.
Very close.
Thank God.
Very close. And honestly, I really think it was just the length that was the reason why Lawrence of Arabia didn't win.
By the time we got to figuring out that vote, I'm
was
like
gonna go
looking
till
at the
midnight.
clock, and I'm like, we're talking 12:30 before this movie's over.
That's why I changed my vote.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't vote for it in good conscience now. Like knowing that Forbidden Planet's like 90 minutes,
And then, so then in the next
which is
round,
lame because I deliberately didn't want time to be an issue, but it did take so long. And plus,
Yeah.
some people were fucking way late.
That's
too,
yes, and I'm not to
which
talk
really
shit,
held us up.
but if people had have arrived by 5:30,
We would have been
we
good to
would have
go.
been, yeah, we would have
We
saved
could
a
have
lot of
Larry
time.
of Arab Town would have been cool.
More,
Well,
yeah, more. in
Larry
it.
will be back.
Yes.
And then, so then Close Encounters beat out Kung Fu Hustle.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
Wait, Kung Fu Hustle beat out Close
Yeah.
Encounters.
Yes.
I don't have the second. I don't have a photo of the second bracket.
I was
'cause
premature
yeah,
with
'cause
wiping it.
you wiped it off, so I'm just
You
trying to go from memory
dummy.
here.
I'm like the BBC trying to get rid of Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Okay, but then
Fucking total
Summer Wars
clown.
beat out Neverending
I'm
Story.
having deja vu. This exact conversation has happened before. It's
And
Every week.
then, Spirited Away beat out Close Encounters.
yeah, that's mine, bitches.
The one who talked
Forbidden
most
Planet beat out. Summer Wars beat out Forbidden Planet.
shit. Yep.
And then, so we had the final face-off was actually anime versus anime, and I actually expected
Which I
Condi
predicted.
Kenzie
to literally
versus
jizz in his
Condi.
pants so hard that they were going to rocket off of his body.
Yeah, I was
Might
actually
have.
I was looking for a tarp to pull over my face.
Yeah, like it was going to be like
Gallagher
the
show.
splash
Yeah.
zone was going to be in full effect. Because,
It's gonna
yeah,
get sloppy.
yeah, like heads up,
What?
all you otaku. We had fucking what nerdier final head-to-head matchup would it be than Spirited Away versus Summer
And I
Wars?
couldn't
I
be
was
I,
rock hard.
I couldn't be more disappointed in this group. I actually
Oh,
Yeah, no,
seriously,
me
I
too.
seriously thought
I'm
about like
surprised.
just
losers.
Me too. I'm
You
just
know what,
saying.
Ed?
I am surprised at how it
It's
worked out.
It's possible to do everything correct and still lose.
and still I know absolutely. I seriously thought about just closing up shop permanently at
Maybe-
that moment.
There's
As
the
you can,
final.
you can see on the board here, everyone. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares?
Maybe it was a backlash because we have had so few animated
Yes.
films.
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe it
I
is time to
almost
trot out
none.
the animated theme. Yeah, no, really. That's,
Well, and I'd like to say, as the oligarchy, as part of the oligarchy behind this thing, that pretty much guaranteed the animated theme will never come to pass.
Fuck you, free for all.
I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding, I'm just
Just
kidding.
because the theme doesn't come up doesn't mean it can't fit into another
Right.
theme somehow.
Well,
So-
right, and well, and also too, I'm being completely facetious. I have no plans to place any kind of embargo on some
Right.
kind of animated theme.
Even though you want to.
No, I
Because your
don't.
AVGN got skunked, motherfucker.
Actually, you know, I would. There was a number of choices I actually would have been more satisfied with to be in the finals, but we'll get to that.
and
Solo.
so in my opinion, upset. Actually, the Miyazaki classic, arguably his best film, was defeated by
by Summer Wars.
Yeah.
Wow.
Summer Wars. So
Fucking
Summer Wars
Condi.
was
I
our
love you, Kenzie.
100th pick.
That's
Come
it,
on.
the big 100.
Summer Wars. Oh
Whatever,
shit.
you can say whatever you want, but you know
This
that's
thing's gonna
not
fucking die.
worthy
Oh, man, figures.
of being our number 100.
Well,
You
we'll
know,
get to
can
that.
I just add? speaking
Wait,
of
wait,
this
hang on. Summer Wars, directed by Mamoru Hosoda.
Who directed The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, which if you haven't seen is also an amazing anime film.
Amazing.
The
Really good
film is
writing.
from 2009 on IMDb. It gets a 7.6.
Only 7.6.
Yes.
Very
yes.
underrated.
So, well, that has yet to be determined. So, and it won some awards, I guess. It won a lot of
Whatever.
awards. Not in America, but overseas. It won some awards. So, yes. All right.
All right. Well, where do you
So,
want to start
Summer
with this?
Wars. So Summer Wars.
First, I want to comment on this anime
Please.
revolution that has happened.
Please.
So, like, I have talked shit about anime before because I didn't really know anything about it. And then, like, the other night, we watched that Lupin Castle one.
The Castle of Cagliostro, Hayao Miyazaki's second
Yeah.
film from 1979.
So that took place at the beginning of this week. And then I was like, you know what? That movie was really cute, and it had enough violence to be, like, adulty and stuff.
The movie was
And I was like,
wonderful.
anime is not so bad.
Masterpiece.
And
Guess that
so
was
then
for,
I'm
before
having to think
Ghibli.
of this
Yes.
movie for this theme, and I'm like, none of the movies that I would normally like would even get votes enough to win. So then, Condi and I on Wednesday night were talking about anime. And
Wait,
I'm
did
like,
you conspire this?
We did, yeah.
That's actually
Well,
okay, though. No, that was
Wait,
okay.
we got
Well,
snaked?
not
Are you
really.
serious?
Whoa.
This was
We
a
didn't
snow
conspire.
job?
It's just funny that it ended. The entire series ended with
Because-
just us two because we had talked about it, and I like after he told me what he was planning on picking, he didn't tell me exactly what it was. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick like Spirited Away or Howl's Moving Castle or one of those
And
because
to be fair, I did tell her what I was going to pick. And before
But I didn't
Ed or
remember.
John chime into this about like, oh, well, you guys don't want pig, you motherfuckers,
Wait, what?
you two
get
bitches
that.
always know what each other. Like, oh well, this was gonna be one of John's picks, but I'll pick it today.
we don't team up on picks like that.
Oh, whatever.
Well,
The only
you guys
the only-
always know what each other
Well,
are
no,
picking
no.
though.
Well, he tells me what he's picking.
Yeah, he never tells
I never
me.
tell him what I'm
I,
picking.
I yeah for
Yeah,
the
but-
no absolutely okay for the
You
the,
at least know what three he's choosing.
no
Nope.
between.
no
I don't tell him that either.
okay for the placeholder
this one I did.
for the
For this
like,
one I did, but
okay
only this
for
one.
special shit like the placeholder picks tonight. He and I conspired on those.
Right.
But the straight up, I always run my picks by him. I never have any fucking clue what he's going to show. He
And that
doesn't.
is-
He
that is
doesn't tell me
deliberate.
shit.
Way to
and,
go, John.
And I
Supposed to be
because
surprised.
because I'm always undecided and I'm weighing different factors out, and so I want to bounce my ideas off him because, like, I mean, I don't as we sort of, run the thing kind of. I don't mind him knowing what's on my mind. Plus, I need someone to play some devil's advocate, so I will bounce ideas off him.
And that's
But
what
he doesn't
happened
tell me.
on Wednesday because I was asking Kenzie like, hey, have you seen Howl's Moving Castle? I think it'd be totally up Kenzie's alley.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that would be a 5 movie for her like all day fucking long.
Yeah.
And the bitches love Miyazaki.
That's true.
That's
I
real.
think that's true.
Straight up, that's
Yeah,
real.
It's super true.
Definitely.
I guess that makes me a
Yeah.
bitch.
Well, no, it's not. I mean, guys like it too, but just the fact
This
that
bitch right here.
It's like,
Well,
I
any-
think even
any
girls who
woman,
don't like anime normally, I think, would
Yeah,
be
any
into
woman that's
Miyazaki movies.
still like,
I would
I
say-
don't watch animation or I don't like anime. If you show them Miyazaki,
They're
fuck,
gonna be-
they're,
I
like,
would say
squishing in their
any
pants.
I agree
Miyazaki movie is
100%.
like a good date movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
exactly.
Absolutely.
And it's the perfect type of anime to show someone who doesn't think that they will like anime or
The
they
introductory
have
thing.
these preconceived
Yeah.
notions
Right, to
about
win 'em
anime.
over.
It's a
Yeah.
great gateway drug to
Yeah.
the world of anime. All of Miyazaki's
Yeah.
movies are.
All right. Well, anyways, that one lost.
Yes, it
yes.
did.
So
Surprisingly enough,
Whatever.
so let's get to what's important.
Dr. Matlis on.
Rude.
He's on fire.
Before we
quick.
before we
He's in
trade
fuego.
opinions, Condi, tell us why you selected
Tell
Summer
us,
Wars.
Condi.
Well, I had, should I say, like a number of picks,
As I'm sure many of us did.
Yeah, as many of us did, but as you particularly know that I messaged you on Facebook, like how much I fucking hate you.
Yes.
That I have to
The
pick
kind
a
of
pick.
messages I adore receiving.
Just like literally a handful of my picks were Dune, like the
Nice.
extended cut, the director's cut of Blade Runner.
Oh, that would
Oh,
be
nice.
cool.
I thought
I
of
was
that
just
for the
watching that
marathon
today.
this morning, actually.
Howl's Moving Castle,
Sure. Yeah.
and as well as like we've shown some comedies here, but no other than Young Frankenstein, Young Frankenstein.
No, Young Einstein.
see
We didn't
that.
do Young Frankenstein. We
Was
did
it
Young
Young Einstein?
Yeah, it was
yes.
Young
You
Einstein.
texted me
What?
Frankenstein.
My
Which-
autocorrect might have done that.
Okay.
Barely counts as a comedy.
Chris picked Young Einstein.
Which I'm convinced was a fuck you pick to me.
You know what, dude? You
I
guys,
believe it. I'm sure you
I
were
believe
just
that
fucking,
too.
there was real science. I learned lessons from that movie that are real. Okay.
And one of my other alternate picks was actually my first pick until I realized that nobody had it was 1941.
Steven Spielberg, his second film, I believe.
I believe it was
second or
too.
third because it was what it was.
1941.
He
Is
did
that
Duel,
based off a book?
Sugarland Express,
No.
and 1941, or it was 41 and then Sugarland Express.
He did, Duel.
Wait, get on that
Sugarland
mic.
Express.
Get on that
Get
mic.
on that mic,
Holy
Zeb.
shit.
Duel
You're
was
the
first.
professional.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Sugarland Express.
It was two, okay.
Jaws, Close Encounters.
And then
Then
1941.
1941.
Really?
Get
1941 was supposed to be the movie that almost killed his career.
Right.
But
Came
it
out
was
with-
like an amazing movie.
Yeah, but then he came out with Indiana Jones.
But it didn't. No. But it did.
It sucked at the box office.
That's
yeah,
it.
No,
yeah.
absolutely it did.
but I love the fuck out of that.
Oh,
movie.
no,
Well,
that-
it's grown to be.
got a huge cult following.
to
because
see
it's
like
it's
the
going to be
fucking
appreciated.
Japanese submarine guy when he's looking at that chick's ass, Hollywood, Hollywood. That's it's amazing. I mean, that was my first pick, and I guess being drunk and also drunk on my own hubris, I believe that movie would have won as well.
It might have.
It might have.
I would have been more likely to vote for 1941 than Summer Wars.
I
Well,
would have. I wish you had
obviously
had a
you
chance
would
to put
have.
up there because I've never seen it, so I would have liked the opportunity.
But as I'm sure we've all figured out by now, my ultimate pick was Summer Wars.
Yes.
Just visually, just goddamn beautiful.
Well, don't praise it too much. Let's wait till we get to. Or is
Well,
that
that's
why
why he
you
picked it.
selected it?
That's one of the many reasons. And then also, having not fought with John, but like yelled at John, I will say, maybe justly or unjustly. And having talked to him backing the animated theme.
Right.
Now that we do like theme free for all.
Well, and for the record, an animated theme was almost what we settled on this last time.
Yeah, and that's what you told me
I
before.
fought for it the last two times, and it almost did
And
win.
we
the last
it
time.
almost did. There was some things.
Well, and there's tons of animated movies I would love to pick, like Ten Concrete or Persephone, or anything like that. Kite. There's so many great animated movies that we haven't even touched yet.
Yeah,
this was
true.
our first. This was our first anime. I know that was this our first animated film?
No,
No,
we've
we've
done
had-
others.
We've had at least one.
Oh, there was Box Trolls?
Yes,
Yeah.
Box. How to Train Your
Your
Dragon.
Dragon.
Well, I would consider How to Train Your Dragon more animated than Box Trolls.
Yes,
No.
Box Trolls was stop motion animation.
that was stop
So it
motion.
It's
still
still
counts.
animation.
Still
Still
counts.
counts.
Technically, you're on the fringe with technically on that shit.
but we haven't. So this is our first anime, and one of a limited number of animated films we've had thus far.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's go around the table, and
Yeah, I'm super curious about this because, obviously everybody wanted their pick to win.
sure.
And other picks like maybe I should have picked that to win rather than mine, and having quote unquote not having picked a dud up until now. I want to see how that affects like everybody's like star rating and or vote to this.
Well, let's get to it then, shall we? John, let's start with you. Tell us about Summer Wars, our
Red
100th
Sun
film.
John.
Well, I do really like this movie. I caught it, and I forget who I saw it with, but I don't know. It might have been you, because Chris said he thought he remembered seeing it.
I didn't. I had seen this
But-
film. I watched it with Brett, another non-existent member of
And-
the Cinemarijuana Theatre.
Brett loves this movie.
He adores it.
He
That's why
adores
he
it,
turned
yeah.
me on to it. The same day we watched that. Was it that 5 centimeters of?
Oh, 5 centimeters per second.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
We
Christ.
did. We
Another
did.
Amazing.
We
movie.
did the 1-2 punch of that and Summer
Oh
Wars.
my God!
Together, so
I consider you a fortunate man.
I gotta.
That was amazing.
Brett is responsible.
Okay,
for me
well, I
having
probably
seen
saw
it.
it with
So
my girlfriend
I
or
didn't
something.
see it with you. Yeah.
But then, I saw it at the Ken when it played on its American theatrical run when it did the indie houses. And I thought it was really good. Visually, it's just, obviously, it takes place in 2 different worlds, sort of the real world and this
The
cyberspace
E-world.
of Oz. And all the stuff that's in Oz is just really, it's just eye candy. It's just, there's colors and everything really pops. And
Yeah, the virtual world is called Oz.
and it's interesting that the character designs are really unique, and there's so much going on the screen. There's this stark white background, but that just helps to make the colors of the things that are there stand out more. And it's the kind of thing where you could freeze frame it and look and pick out all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I really found. Visually, it's a stunning movie. It's got a cute storyline. The same person who did this did a movie called The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, which is also a really interesting story. And if you haven't seen it, it's worth checking out. It's it's a great kind of family story. This interesting family dynamic. It's like everybody, I think, you got like those Thanksgiving dinners, holiday dinners and stuff. It's interesting having the whole family together.
Yes.
Awkward relatives.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of cool.
But I think that's one of the things this film sort of nails is that it's awkward, but there's still a part of you that loves it.
Right.
Even though you wish you could be more of a part of it, like you still love it, but it's still kind of alienating.
And the awkwardness helps to make it feel sort of believable,
Yeah.
because there is, anytime you get together with relatives, there's going to be some awkwardness too.
Yeah, and it's really believable with Obachan grandmother.
Yes, yeah. The characters are really a lot of anime have really just over the top characters that are caricatures and just really eccentric and extreme. And with
these were subtle.
Right,
I liked it.
Yes, you could take this script. Obviously, the stuff in Oz would have to be animated still, but everything in the real world, you could do live action. You could take the script, you could film it live action, and it wouldn't lose anything because you don't need any kind of over-the-top, ridiculous animation to make the story work. So I really liked it. I was I don't want to trash. I was hoping that the 100th movie would be something that would have a little more gravitas to it.
Sure.
And I don't know, that's why I picked It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, just because
That's why
It's more
I
epic.
picked Lawrence
Well,
well,
Fishburne.
exactly right. And it's nothing. It is nothing against.
That's
Obviously,
why I picked AVGN.
Well, no,
Oh,
that's why you should have
God.
picked Seven Samurai.
No, that movie is
Yes.
epic in scope.
That's what you should.
Maybe
have
not in
and-
scale, but in scope.
Seven
And let me
Samurai,
say,
but-
this is where I love our little group where John's I don't know about backhanded comment or I don't see how personally how Summer Wars has less quote unquote gravitas than does It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, which is a fine movie, a very, very fine movie in its own right, but extremely dated.
Well, but that in
What?
some ways,
Well-
it's the timeless feel.
That doesn't take away
Well,
from it in the
that's-
slightest.
yeah, that's
Okay,
right.
well, hang on. No, and I'm not trying to give any unnecessary credit where it's not due, but I would argue that on a subtextual level, Summer Wars has more going on than Mad World. At least, and I was going to talk about this when I get to it, but just in terms of the way technology impacts our lives and the changing
Sure.
the changing face of human society
about-
as augmented or diminished depending on your viewpoint by technology.
But that's only really a big deal right now because we're in that period. We're in that
But
transitional
I
period.
But we've
would
been
you
in
argue
that
that
period
it's
for
only going to
forever.
get
But it-
worse as that whole Moore's law thing continues to accelerate and technology becomes not only more ubiquitous but more powerful?
I would recommend watching this YouTube video called Technocalypse.
It's scary as fuck.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I think it's going to get worse.
Well, no,
I think it keys into
But I feel
something
like that's one of the
huge
things I
that's
didn't
current.
like. Oh, I saw the Poltergeist remake, and it was like one of the things that it's like they so wanted you to know that movie was made in 2015. Because it's like, oh, like drones and like tablets and like cell phones and technology. because it's 2015, right? Like,
Phones.
everybody's on their phones, right? And tablets and phones and kids and their phones and tablets. And there's drones everywhere and drones and phones and tablets.
Drones and phones.
There
And
are.
phones and drones and tablets. and
Drones and
telephone
phones. Drones and phones. Where you come from?
And-
Just drones and phones.
and- and-
You ain't got
and-
no antenna, boy.
And Summer Wars is already, several years old, and it's not dated by any sense yet. But, like, I'm just saying there could be a time 10, 15 years from now when, like, the concept of people, like, trying to get
drones and
money.
phones.
the people trying to drive south to Dago to dig up money will still make sense. But the whole, like, oh, my e-account got hacked and my user account got stolen won't maybe be as topical. I don't know.
You know, we'll be
And
rad.
also, too, I'm not necessarily saying, like, oh, my movie should have won. I'm just saying that, like, I feel like the 100th movie should have just been something with, like, a little more of a, classic feel or something. Obviously, you know what I'm talking about because you picked Lawrence of Arabia.
Well,
Yeah.
So I'm not crazy here.
No,
by saying that.
I'm not
No,
saying
no,
I
no.
don't understand what you're not talking about with like the gravitas or a
It's-
classic
it's-
feel to
It's
it.
like we said, it's just
But-
like porno. I can't explain it, but I'll know what it is
No,
when
but
I see it. It's Summer Wars just doesn't quite have
I mean,
whatever that vibe is that I
Well,
kind of was
because,
hoping
it
it
has
was
to
going
do
to
with,
have.
it's
like-
very current kind of of a situation, you know.
It's not-
Exactly.
And like the
It's not
movies that we've been
classic.
covering, it's like
Right.
the theme before this current one was the 30s, you know.
And the one now is even like classic
I
shit.
just-
It has to be something from.
I guess
like,
I just really love classic
so
movies.
it's
So
like-
it's
Yeah,
hard to
you
get away
do,
from that.
and-
the
And I'm trying to
stockpile
bring us to the
of
21st
awesome
century.
movies that we have at our disposal like covers like this huge amount of time, and granted, I guess we haven't had that many movies that kind of have that really current feel.
Sure.
Yeah,
you know,
only Jason
because
Land picks.
Really?
It-
Yeah.
well, yeah, actually, yeah.
Or
Pretty
maybe
much.
a Condi pick, but
with
otherwise.
primer/primer.
Yeah,
you
Child
know.
Chronos
but-
Crimenis.
well,
yeah, I would agree that I think John and I are kind of on the same wavelength here with like
No, I see what
with,
you guys
with
are
the
saying.
Centennial being kind of like
Yes.
It's, I mean, I get it. It's funny because I see
our
both
personal,
arguments.
like top whatever
Well, it's funny because
movie that we want to share with the group
I
would be
feel
like more
I
of a
feel like
classic
you
movie.
guys do. Like my objection to like not winning wasn't so much because like necessarily like my pick didn't win. It was more like because I was kind of feeling like you guys, but when I try to like rationalize, when I try to use like rationality to like reconcile myself to like that viewpoint, I can't.
Well, and
You
like
know what
I
I
said,
mean? Like
I'm not-
I can't. It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? And
and-
because realistically, Summer Wars, you know, to use the same term, really does have, I think, an equal amount of. I think it is a powerful film that does
Sure.
have as much gravitas as anything sort of classic. But I will agree that it does lack that kind of timeless classic feel,
Sure.
at least right now. And it lacks that sort of heavy-hitting kind of feel
Right.
that you kind of would build up an expectation for.
But I don't want it in any way, shape, or form trash the movie because I love the movie, and it was what the group picked, and that's the whole thing. I think
That was
obviously
important,
Yeah.
too.
everybody would have liked to have seen their movie win. Of
Yes.
course, that's the whole
Yeah.
point. But that's what the group decided on, and so
Well, exactly. Even though like the picks were Kenzie's and Condi's, everybody enthusiastically
Yes.
voted for their
Yeah.
choice.
right, yeah,
So,
and
yeah.
people
So,
were definitely well in favor of Summer Wars, and
Well,
and I'm not
so-
at all resentful for it.
so okay. Well, hang on.
yeah, I was about to say I'm gonna pull an Ed here and pull it in as like as much as I would like to argue with for my pick, obviously.
which you don't even need to do anymore. You
Well,
want.
no, I
Yeah.
will always argue that goddamn pick.
But in the interest
Uh,
of brevity,
But John, what would you consider this on a star level
bottom line it.
by movie itself?
Oh.
Not that it's our 100th pick.
I would give it, if I could give it 3.5, I would give it 3.5. I don't think it's quite up to 4 because there's some slow parts to the story. So since we can't do halves, I would have to bump it down to 3.
Oof.
But if I could do 3.5, I would do 3.5 because it is really good, and it's especially if you're an anime fan.
Well,
if you're an anime fan, you need to see this
even
movie.
if you're or an
even
animation
if you're
not
fan,
an animation fan,
or even like a video game fans. I mean, honestly, anybody who's into technology. I mean, it's.
I mean, if you were an anime fan, I would say you need to watch like the Escaflowne movie or like
sometimes
the Evangelion movies.
Well, sure, but then I would
If you're
think.
an anime fan, watch Monster. It's the greatest fucking series
But if
ever
you're gonna write
in the
a list-
history of
I
any
want
series
Hentai
ever.
Express.
And also, too, but if you're talking about series or movies, that's different too.
Okay.
Because
Well,
that's,
hang on.
if
Wait.
we're saying like an anime
Looks
movie.
really good.
Zeb is chomping. Zeb is chomping at the bit here.
Okay, well,
I'm just leaning
that's-
forward
Well, I
on my
think
back,
he is. I can't tell with it right now.
There's one important thing that
and I
I
have
think
to
we
use
missed.
the restroom.
Okay.
Yeah, then
That's
you're
why I'm like,
next.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
feel
wait
free
till I go.
to hit it really quick after we talk to you.
oh, you guys are still
Yeah.
going to be talking.
Go do
Uh,
it.
Okay, no, go ahead. Cause you got another
Believe
point.
yourself.
Go ahead.
I gotta bring
Go
up
ahead. As
something.
soon as you get back, we'll get to you.
Last goddamn 10 minutes.
I feel
Like he was
I
saying
Okay, this is
anything.
something that I brought up last time, and I don't think we're like quite in the habit of it yet, because I think there's whoever's listening to this still doesn't really know the plot of the movie. So we gotta do a little synopsis here.
Yeah, Gandhi, you
I
wanna-
could do this, or Ed could do this, or how
Well, you
Well,
got the
it was
IMDb
your
thing?
pick. So
Oh,
so fill
my
us
God!
in.
Yeah, I forgot. No, hang on.
Well, no, Ed's got the IMDb.
Yeah,
He
well,
can read
I've read the
synopsis really
IMDb.
quick.
It does not do it justice.
Look, this guy right here picked it. He could do a better
All right,
synopsis
Condi,
than
lay it
IMDb.
on the line for us.
Okay, so essentially, I'm not going by character names because I'm really drunk and I'm not looking at IMDb.
Condi.
This seems pretty right on the money to me.
Really? Well,
A stu-
Ed, I
a-
will let you. I'll refrain to you and see if there's anything I need to correct.
A student tries to fix a problem he accidentally caused in Oz, a digital world, while pretending to be the fiancé of a friend at her grandmother's
That's
90th birthday.
nothing like what the movie
That's
was.
No,
exactly
actually,
what it
That
all
was.
was
those
like
things
10
happen in
seconds.
the
That's
movie.
exactly what happens.
That's what happens in the movie.
I just
That-
feel like that
that's,
happened at the very beginning
I mean,
of the
there's
movie, and the rest
more.
of the movie had nothing to do with that
That's
part.
exactly what the movie is.
That's a very
but,
bare
Thank you.
bones,
But with it, and actually, I was referring to Ed, not you, Kenzie.
Whatever.
But it's the little nuances of like this guy is a part of like he's a mathlete for everybody to understand, and he's in love with the chick that comes in and like says
who's using him?
at first.
Who's using him because she wants to woo Kaku Braku-san.
But I don't think it's until the part when he like solves a problem in his head without the paper that she's just like spaloosh.
Yes.
And it's like, that is my man for the rest of my life.
Well,
kind of
he
thing.
had to prove his worth,
and he did.
like Sam Gamgee.
Yeah. Well, Samwise.
Men of wealth.
He had to steal. He had to steal away from her uncle too.
He had to be a man of wealth.
What is it with the Japanese too, and the whole family thing? Like, if it's not like the brother sister, like okay, so
Well-
in this movie, she's got a cousin who's got the hots for her, the cop cousin.
Second
and then
cousin.
second cousin. Sorry, I guess that makes it okay.
Well, yeah.
And then she's totally got the hots for her uncle.
Because it was a law and a traditional thing in like feudal Japan and thereafter for a while that you could marry within your family as long as the bloodline wasn't like so close.
It's because the island's so small; they have very few options. Like okay, like I swear to
I have
God,
to build
Japan,
up.
Hawaii, England, all small island nations, all places where it's legal to marry your cousin.
well, and there's
It's
that,
legal
and,
here?
and it's
It's
part
got to
of
be like
it.
second cousin though.
I don't know about that. I
I'm
thought
pretty sure.
genetically first cousins are actually like ideal. Like,
No, not God, no, not
No,
first cousin,
really?
like third or something.
No. Well, I might be.
No, it's
Excuse me. I might be mistaken on the actual number of cousin.
You are.
Okay. No. But I've heard something about actually like genetically speaking, like scientifically, like the best. Like
I want to see where he goes. with this.
how do I describe this?
It's
I'm
no,
on
it's
that.
no.
Please,
it is,
please,
no, I've
before
read
I
it
make
too.
myself
I just
sound
got
even
it
more
here.
stupid than I already
it's something
am.
like third cousin. It's like third or like
So
three
you're
and a
like,
half
gonna
cousins.
talk while I get back.
Because they're it's like their genes are compatible enough to match up
my
really
opinion
well
doesn't
without
care.
being
My
so
opinion
close
doesn't
to
matter.
get any of like the weird flipper baby stuff
Well,
going
yeah,
on.
and you have to. You have to get away from like it's got to be
But
second or
it's-
third cousin.
No, third, because
No,
first
I-
cousins are like half siblings.
I think
basically.
he's right,
Well,
right
yeah,
about this.
because like if you do any closer than that, you're gonna be like home from the X Files.
Well, right. And look, I used to work in a Japanese porno factory. Let me tell you, every other story is
Blue
a
eyes.
brother wanting to nail his sister.
Oh no, Blue Eyes is a horse
and
wanting to nail a mom.
yeah,
with,
that's a
with
horse and a
ridiculous
woman.
tits.
Oh my
And-
God,
and
we're
there's-
going so off the
And
rails.
you cannot argue
Because
that-
everybody's gone.
You cannot argue that
Motherfuckers
this-
just keep talking.
anything
Wrap it the
fucking-
fuck up.
sorry.
3.5 stars. Okay, Jesus Christ. This is why it took so fucking long in the beginning to plot out the whole fucking movie, because you guys took so fucking long. Oh, we're gonna plot it out. Let me smoke a bowl. Oh, we were gonna roll out the movies. Oh, let me get a beer.
No, we.
That's how we roll at the Cinemarijuana Theatre.
That's right. Well, we deliberately. We deliberately.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zeb.
Seb is completely melted down, but
We-
I don't know if I can blame him for that.
We deliberately waited till
This
a
is like
little
the first time
later.
I've drunk in a long
All right,
time.
let me take the
deliberately-
Ed position. John, 3.5
3.5
stars.
stars.
Zeb, how do you feel about the movie?
Oh, thanks, Condi. I like the movie a lot.
Okay. Bottom line, how many stars?
Hurry up now.
4.
I'm just kidding.
Who did you think it was going to be?
I thought it was a ghost. I forgot Kenzie wasn't there.
Okay.
I'm blind. Are you happy about that? The old man can't see.
The
I
truth
thought it was
comes
a
out.
ghost you have
Well,
here at the
you know,
Cinemarijuana Theater.
To be
I
fair,
thought it was the ghost of Chris.
to be fair, the lighting is very poor in here. I can barely see in here.
I think the ghost of Chris is still kicking around somewhere.
Yeah.
I thought that was him. Like, hey, what about my rating? Tapping on me. Hey, Zeb.
Okay, Zeb, please tell us about Spirited Away.
You mean-
I'm just kidding. Tell us about the Summer Wars.
Summer Wars. I did vote for it over
Yes.
Spirited Away.
Because you saw a trailer that wowed you.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen Summer Wars
Yes.
at all.
Yes.
And when the trailer was shown, I was like, wow. Unlike the people that saw the trailer for Solo, I saw my hope fade away while
mean
they
the-
went, me.
The fucking losers.
We're shut-in. I got a little thing about a bee. You want to hear about it?
So I'm like, Summer Wars, yeah, I'll dig it. And plus, oh shit, things are falling off.
Oh, my
Way to
shoelace
go.
came undone. Oh, no.
I get real here, Kenzie.
Why don't you just
Well,
like
I have,
every-
as I was explaining to Garrett, I will break your heart and your legs.
Will you break my heart with my legs?
Yes. As I was explaining to Garrett, I have 5 nieces and 4 nephews. And
Wait, what?
I have 5 nieces and 4 nephews. I don't have any kids of my own. And I raised all of them.
Yes.
And the only thing that got them to shut up was Spirited Away.
Oh, okay. Nice. At least you
And
found
you didn't
something.
vote for it?
Not-
I didn't vote for it
You were
because I
tired
didn't
of
want to
seeing
see
it?
it again.
but
Yeah,
not Kiki's delivery service.
He can
No.
probably do the
See,
fucking
Ryan.
dialogue in his sleep. If kids got hooked on it,
I
they
don't
watched
give
it
a
over
fuck.
and over
You
and
should've
over
voted
and
for
Good
it.
job,
over.
Sin. That was a river spirit.
So I could do it in my fucking sleep.
So
Summer
you,
Wars I haven't seen, so I took a gamble.
you
because
had
once
you
Sa-
had to.
Once Sallow lost to the never-ending fucking story, fuck all you guys. Fuck all you.
Except for those of us
Except
that
for those
voted
of you,
for
except
Solo.
for the educated people in the room
That's
that
right.
voted for Solo.
We're all
Yes.
sitting on this side of the table, actually.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I take back the non-educated
Those of
parts. I look
us-
at the good doctor.
Those of us that
And,
aren't homophobic. Because clearly that's why anybody that didn't pick it would,
Fuck
would
those
not pick
homo
it.
niggers.
Whoa! How long are
True.
how long
You
are
have
we
to
into the
take that
broadcast? I'm
out.
gonna cut that out.
But I really did enjoy Summer Wars. It
Had
talks,
a Hulk Hogan moment right there.
I thought it was a pretty deep film,
Brother.
One, because of how technology is taken over our lives, especially with Oz. I found it as a metaphor for Facebook. Facebook's just like becoming
Sure.
a big part of what we are. One, now you can send money over
It's
Facebook.
Well, yeah,
real.
and I think more and more like people are willing to give up personal things
that's,
to it.
That's what pisses me off because everyone's like, "Oh, the NSA is picking up data. They shouldn't do that. That's wrong, motherfucker. You put your whole fucking goddamn life on Facebook.
Yeah.
I've been able to
Already.
break into people's houses,
sure.
people's bank accounts, people's Facebook profiles based on what the fuck they post on there
Yeah.
because nothing is private.
I mean,
anymore.
It's not right for the feds to do it,
I
but
could
that's being ideological. Like,
possibly
don't share it.
Fucking tell you all about your fucking lives without having meeting you.
Well, you know what? That's
Based
rad.
on what you guys posted on Facebook.
You ain't gonna find much about me. You're like,
And,
this
even,
guy,
and even less about
this
me.
guy smokes a lot of pot and goes to a lot of shows, and I think he's on the radio, but I can't quite tell.
And that's what this movie was kind of talking about. And if we looked at some stuff that happened a couple of weeks ago, as I mentioned in previous podcasts and on the air, people's attention spans about the size of a caterpillar's
Oh
penis.
yeah,
It's very microscopic.
and I think the
We've
internet
ar-
kind of helps that.
Yeah, it's like Rachel Dolezal. Oh, who's Rachel Dolezal? 8 weeks ago, we couldn't fucking stop talking about her.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, Bill Cosby, keep shutting up because
it'll go away.
It will go away.
It'll
People
go
will
away.
fucking forget about it.
Rachel Dolezal. Now we talked about her for a week, maybe two. Guess what? Ancient history now.
Now it's like, oh, gun control because someone, shot up a movie theater.
Again.
Well, in the gunman's defense, it was train wreck.
I love Amy Schumer. Come on, and John
The
Cena.
The movie's so bad. The guy got.
And Amy Schumer's
went
in
out.
it. Or, I mean,
He
John
had no
Cena.
intention of doing that when he went to the theater, and then it was just the movie just
I don't
raised
even
him
I
to the
guess you
point
could
that
say
he was
it
like,
was-
"People must die."
It was seeing John Cena.
Was the screening
John Cena in
a
that?
train wreck?
It
Waka
sounds like
waka.
it. Man, is it too soon? Because, like, man, we're gonna.
It's way too soon.
But the point I was trying to make
This is well insensitive.
fuck that. The point I was trying to make is we've already forgotten about the probe attacks that happened a couple of weeks ago. Nobody knows anything about it now because we all forgot about it.
Probe.
When the Wall Street went down.
Oh no, that was just a test for something bigger. I swear.
No,
It's coming,
that's
dude.
what was known as a probe attack. We were being probed
Yeah.
for any weaknesses.
Yeah.
So this movie was.
We
like,
were at Comic-Con when it went down, and it was like a little.
Yeah,
it was like a background
fucked
thing
up
to
my
us.
stocks.
And I was like, I told John, I'm like, you wait, dude. I'm like, this is gonna be a bigger deal. Like, oh, this is because they're playing it off like, oh, it's just some little stupid glitch. Motherfuckers.
The reptilians
You-
are gonna join up with the Illuminati.
You motherfuckers, there's too much money going on. You didn't do this. Like, this is somebody else fucking you up.
Because if you pay attention to Wall Street, they update like every 30 minutes.
I'm sure.
Software.
I'm sure.
Do you have like one of those ticker tape machines?
Too much
You know,
money
like,
on it.
Yeah.
like, with the
I haven't
feed
looked
the
at it
tape
since
out?
1938.
Was
Oh,
the-
no. Oh,
was-
no.
Was the market bullish that day before it went down?
Yes, it was.
Excellent.
And then I checked afterwards, and all my stocks were red.
And it became sheep.
Do you
What
think it
is
could have been something like in
What's the
The
opposite?
Dark Knight Rises with like Bane break into the
No,
stock
because it
exchange?
was
and-
because United Airlines was grounded. All flights of United Airlines was grounded,
is that what fucked it up?
and that was on the same
No,
day.
that was another thing.
No, that was on the
Oh.
same day
Yeah.
as when Wall Street went down, and then the Wall Street Journal went down, then Facebook went down,
Right.
then Twitter went
And
down.
it's like, this ain't
scary.
like a coincidence.
Well, it's an old Russian colonel like said it best. It's like one, it's an accident. Second, it's a consequence. Third, it's an enemy,
yeah.
and that's what happened.
Yeah.
And this movie really spoke to me about that. So I viewed it more as that.
Yes. No, it really, very, very sort of topical.
Because, even if it's not a country, it's going to be an AI. And even Hunter S. Thompson wrote that the next World War, we're not going to know who our enemy is.
Well, it's Skynet. It's basically Skynet.
Yeah, because we've given so much power to Google and Facebook and all the. I mean, I got apps on apps on apps.
And to computer automation. Everything is run by these machines that
Yeah, I
are
mean, you
connected.
pay your bills with computers
that
now.
are connected to this
You pay
greater
your taxes
body.
with it.
So this
we're
movie was
we're
just like
dependent on it now.
speaking to me. I loved it. I come from a big family, so the family dynamics was really great. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. 4 stars out of 4 stars. for me.
Excellent. Okay.
I'm gonna try to fix this thing that I broke.
Kenzie,
It was already broken.
Yeah, don't spend too much time.
Kenzie the black sheep.
Put the phone down, wild card, and talk to
I'm
us.
looking at my notes.
Oh, okay, excellent. Never mind.
Ooh.
Whoa, excuse me.
Oh.
Excuse me, I spoke too soon. I'm just so used to being like
Don't piss her off while she's
ignored for that
reviewing
phone.
my movie.
So, all right, Kenzie, talk to us about Summer Wars.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to be sentimental and be like, I'm so happy this is our 100th movie. Not including all the other movies, because like really technically it's more than 100. But
Well, if we
It's
can,
like when they do the 100th episode of a TV show. It's almost never actually the 100th, because there'll be some episodes they filmed before but didn't broadcast or something.
or,
it's
or
always
yeah, or
like,
it's like the clip show.
it's like, yeah, so it's technically the 100th, but it's also really like the 102nd or something.
yeah, so I don't know. You know how like on the first day of class when the teacher makes you like introduce yourself and say something interesting, I'm always like, oh, I'm part of this really awesome movie group. And people are like, whoa, that's really awesome. I'm like, yeah, I know. So yeah, cool. 100 movies. That's kind
It's,
of
Yeah.
it's a big accomplishment.
No, hey.
It really
It
is.
Yeah, no, I was.
And
I'm
it's
proud of
tough
us.
to get people in the adult world, especially to stick to something. So it is. I think,
The
it's,
fact
I think it's
that-
commendable that we've kept it
The
going.
fact
for
that
so
we've
long.
stuck to it and grown
Yes.
to where we have like a bunch of really cool people that are really into it as well is pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
So go us is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I'm glad it's
All right.
working.
So on to the actual movie. I'm really drunk, if you couldn't already tell. And I don't remember much about it.
Well, you're not.
Aw.
Hey, that's what the notes are for.
You're not
But
slurring
yes,
to
I
that.
have
if you-
notes. So one comment I made during the movie was that it totally reminded me of that one game where you collect all the stuff when you roll around and make a big ball of stuff.
Katamari
Monopoly?
Damacy.
Whatever
Katamari.
that
Yeah.
is.
Katamari.
Do normal people know what that is, or is that just like
Gamers
a you
know
guys
it's
thing?
not. Well, it's
It's pretty popular.
It's a popular,
Okay.
but among gamers, like it's not like a Super Mario Brothers where you could go talk to anybody and they'd be like, "No, I played it."
Yeah.
But if you talk to people that like play a lot of games, they know it.
Okay, well, this was basically, to me, the movie version of that game. Same kind of colors, same kind of look. So I liked it in
I
that
could see
sense.
that.
Of the 2 animes that I've seen in my entire life, it was my second favorite.
Wait a
Okay,
minute.
no,
Hey.
that's good. So you like Castle of Cagliostro
Second
better?
to, yeah.
Okay,
that
excellent,
one.
excellent.
Well,
that's
that is an
pleasing.
amazing movie.
It is. It's yeah. It
Yeah, I
is.
love that
It is.
movie.
It is strikingly beautiful and a lot of fun and just one of the coolest.
And
ever.
I will say, surprisingly, a great transfer to Blu-ray for its time.
The new Blu-ray. I don't know the
was
company.
gorgeous.
It oh hey.
Oh my God!
I know.
Already,
I knew. We've been chatting so
Called it Zeb.
much.
Yes, the new Blu-ray transfer is absolutely gorgeous. So, Kenzie, continue.
Okay. I have one last thing to add, and you guys were talking about it earlier, but I felt that my comment would be overlooked, so I was gonna save it. But I also agreed that it was not the perfect film for the 100th film.
Oh.
But I don't regret seeing it, and I still liked it. But I do agree that like something more classic or like I don't know. It just wasn't
It's
the
something
perfect
that's tough to
100th film.
right. It's something that's tough to describe, but just that there's gotta.
No,
There's
I
just
certain
something
vibe.
missing. Yeah.
I wouldn't say tough to describe. Just because like the group that we have here, and all the picks that we've had throughout even throughout I've been here, the months, years that this has been going on.
Eons.
That we have had a lot of classic films.
Yes.
From The Mummy to The Invisible Man. To Zeb, you're
Well, almost-
say the one with the old people. on
Make
it.
way for tomorrow.
Make way for tomorrow.
Boo.
I mean,
Well, liked it or not, Angels with Dirty Faces.
Right.
We've had a lot of very classic
Sure.
movies here, and I don't know if it makes me happy or it makes me sad that I have a movie, that is more of a, I don't want to say spit in the face of classic movies because it's not only an anime which is very modern,
but it's a very modern anime.
yeah, but
For
a
a
movie,
modern
but
genre,
a very
it's a
modern,
modern-
anime about very modern
Stuff.
things.
Yeah. It's very like now.
So and that's why I feel like whether you like the movie or you didn't like the movie, that you feel like you come out of watching it and our our great group, our 100th movie, which in itself, if for anything, is a milestone, number 100.
Right.
I could see how anybody would say God, Summer Wars, it was really great. It was visually stunning. It was this, it was that, it was, the other thing. but it just lacked for this, and I could see that, and I'm not mad at John for saying that, or Kenzie for saying.
But that is kind of
something
frustrating
like that.
too.
It's a little frustrating, but
Sure.
it's just like John knows, everybody here knows how much I've been fighting for an animated, not so much an anime.
I want that now.
But just an animated theme in
an
general.
animated theme,
Which would be really cool.
Yeah, because there's so many great things. Like another one that I had in mind was Ten Concrete.
Right.
Or Persepolis or Persephone. I don't know.
Wait. Persepolis that's the Israeli one.
Where if you're
Iranian.
Is it Iran?
Iran goes to France.
Oh, what a huge.
the other one I'm thinking of is Paprika.
Okay, that's by the guys that
really
made Tech on Concrete as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they're all like great movies, but for our 100th film doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be well received by everybody.
Right.
They will like the film, like, oh god, that's pretty cool. But
Well, in a way, it's almost kind of nice that it was a little divisive, because I think that's something that we almost in a way need more of here.
Well,
somehow.
yeah, and it being our 100th film is like, and like I always say, is like everybody's gonna know, like, hey, it's my pick because it's an Asian an East quote unquote East film.
The whole time I thought your pick was Empire because of your fucking Lando card. I seriously thought that. I was
but I like to see us go like a little more modern, because there's as many great classic films as there are.
There's a lot of great
there's
stuff
another
now.
great modern film for that.
There's lots of great stuff that we
Yeah.
just don't know yet because it's not classic yet.
Yeah.
All right, Kenzie. So let's bring it back to you here.
Okay.
So you can finish going over your notes.
Yeah. I only have 2 left. So.
Please lay it on us.
So,
Sorry,
well, okay.
Kenzie.
The first of all is that even though I just said it wasn't the perfect 100th movie, I still voted for your movie multiple rounds. And the only reason I didn't vote for it in the final round was because
It was against your movie, yeah.
Yeah, so of course I voted for mine. But otherwise, like, yours
Speak
won
into
for
that
me
mic.
over the other ones. But, however, if Solo would have been in any of the rounds, that would have had my vote all the way to the end. Out of all the movies that were presented to me, I would have even voted for that one over my own movie.
Yeah. I told you.
Nice.
You would watch it and you would like it. You thought I was being mean.
Even after Child
But-
I
Bride.
thought you were being vindictive.
No.
It turns out it was like the perfect thing for me.
For a second, I thought Solo was going to win. And I was
I
like,
really
yeah.
wanted it
There
to.
was some
I was
enthusiastic
like, I was
votes
like,
for
it's
it
going to
when it
blow
was first
through,
out.
and it's going to be so rad.
Dude,
no,
if
it
Solo
felt to
would've
the
won,
fucking
I was-
never-ending story.
I can't
I was
believe
ready
that.
to take a nap.
I've never
Super
seen
safe.
the Never-Ending Story, but I didn't care in that moment. I was like, I'd rather rewatch this movie that is so fucked up and so awesome
It would have been a perfect
than
100
watch
film.
stupid
thought.
Never-Ending Story.
That's why I picked it.
Okay, all right, Kenzie. So give us your rating for Spirited Away, because we're
Are we
Spirited
still
Away.
even doing ratings
Yeah.
on like the Facebook page?
Well, I guess that's how
Yeah.
we're kind of concluding. That's how we're wrapping up the segment where we're talking specifically to you.
Okay, well, I haven't seen any of the ratings for like the last few movies.
Well, I've been putting them up. I don't know if people are voting on
I've
them
been,
or not.
I've been putting
voting.
I don't know.
Are you still part of the group?
I doubt whether people are seeing the shit I'm posting, even though it's in a closed group and everybody's supposed to see everything. I doubt that people are
I see
seeing
it.
shit.
I see
I
it.
see it.
Does it?
I
Okay.
don't
It also
I
gives
vote
me a
on it.
notification, too.
I saw the thing that he posted, but I haven't seen the ratings, and I didn't see your
Well, if
invite,
you-
and I didn't see your schedule.
Are you
Because
subscribed to
The schedule
Can
was
send
on
it
the
on
invite,
Facebook.
and if you go on the page and look, you'll see them. I've been putting them up.
I think
so.
that's why.
So, all right, well, give us your rating so we can move on.
My rating for this movie is probably like 3, maybe, or 2.
Okay. Or 2.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you didn't
We're
like
getting-
this movie?
It wasn't my favorite.
Well,
I don't
okay, so
know.
tell us about the movie then.
I thought it was hard to follow,
Okay.
What?
but
Sorry,
I also
that's-
was like drinking all night, so I feel like I owe your movie another chance. But I don't know. I just.
We did get started drinking early.
Like I said, out of the 2 animes that I have seen, it's my second favorite. The other one had like a
So it's
clear-cut
in last
storyline,
place.
and this one was like kind of in different
Well,
places.
a 3 is like I pretty much liked it. A 2 is like I don't think so.
I think I did like it.
So a 3.
So a 3, yeah.
Okay. Should we even talk to Condi at this point?
God damn, really?
Well,
He's giving it 5 stars.
it's not guaranteed to be a 5. He might give it a 4.
Okay, no, you're absolutely right. Condi, talk to us about your
Well,
selection.
John, I'd like to say you're wrong. For me, like, I could be watching this movie right now again.
You love it.
And like I said, and this will undoubtedly be, like, the way I'm hearing everything, my one dud, quote unquote, for our movie group.
Because you've got a pretty flawless reputation. Your picks are usually pretty well received.
Yeah, and I will say, if this wasn't our 100th film, that I would be getting 4s and 5s across the board. I guarantee you.
Yes.
Whether you've seen this movie or not.
Oh, I didn't take that into account for my rating, by the way.
Oh no, I believe that with
I
you,
think
Kenzie.
3
You
stars.
are the black sheep or
Wild card.
wild card of, like, everything.
Yes.
Kenzie the wild card. Hey, that should be my nickname.
I think we've already established that.
That's better than vitamin K, huh?
No, I really like vitamin K.
I got a shot of vitamin D for you.
Yeah, I know, right? I got 2 shots of vitamin N. Right for your fucking chin.
But I'm I'm just gonna leave this as, like, it's a 5. I could watch this movie like all week.
Well, I mean, I think it kind of goes without saying, if this is what you would bring for your sort of ultimate pick, that speaks volumes about, like, how in what regard you hold this film.
Yeah, and it's an amazing film, and even before I knew Brett loved it, I loved it. And this movie holds up to a lot of things for me, and I watch a lot of anime.
I would argue that it's almost, because Japan's sort of ahead of us technologically, I would almost argue that it's even more sort of prescient now than it was when it was released.
Well, yeah, and it's going to go a lot more. I mean, you see the way Twitter's going, Facebook, Instagram, all that shit.
Yeah.
Google, Facebook,
Twitter.
Twiddling.
Fiddling with yourself. Okay.
What is it now, eh?
So 5 stars for me?
5 stars.
Yeah, if something like this happened to us, like, what would we do?
And it's coming.
Yeah, and would we have the strength to be like the little German boy? Like, take our avatars, and bet with this.
It would be like,
No, as Americans, we'd be like, oh my God, shut us up in the fucking corner, and we'll ride this shit out, man.
You have the Cinemarijuana Theatre's sword. 5 stars, Condi. Yes.
That's
Dr. Matlis. Sorry to cut you off.
We're playing the music out.
Yeah, I know we're gonna get to 2 hours on this motherfucker, and I don't have to listen to it again to figure out, like, an hour's worth of shit to chop out.
What?
Dr.
Where are
Matlis.
we? Oh, yes, I like this movie. It was really something different.
You had not seen
Which-
this before?
I hadn't seen it, no.
Was it on your radar? Were you aware of it?
No, actually.
Okay.
Maybe I just don't get exposed to that much anime.
Well, no, this is like one of those. Okay, in America, even as popular as kind of we perceive anime to be, in America,
Well, you
this
really
is the
need
kind
to
of
hunt
thing-
for it.
You need to be in a place where the advertising is very specific to have this film brought onto your radar.
Yeah.
Like,
And
it
wasn't
probably
online.
played 1 week at the Ken to mostly empty theaters.
Oh yeah, it wasn't
I would
back
guess.
when I went and saw it.
So
Anyways, yeah. So just being something really different. We were talking about kind of having, like, something that has the gravitas of the 100th,
yes,
and I'm just that's played out. I'm not gonna touch
Don't
that.
harp on
We
that
talked
anymore.
about it enough.
Sure,
But
would be
so
as
I'm
a
just my
fucking
review on
death.
this is just like the movie as any other time we'd be picking.
Yes.
So. Just to have that factor into my ultimate stars.
Yes.
Just to put your mind at ease, Condi. So yeah, I thought it was a really interesting concept. It did, for an anime, feel very now.
yes,
There's some anime. Well, probably the majority. I don't know of at least the animes that I've seen are definitely kind of sci-fi. So
yeah, they're set like in the future.
they're way in the future.
Yeah. or some alternate reality.
Or kind of like steampunkish, you know.
Yeah.
This one was just very sort of maybe just a couple years ahead in
Right.
like its subject, which I mean we've talked about. But I thought that was a really cool angle to go with because it did touch on a lot of things that are like getting really sort of
Today's
intertwined
issues.
into the technology in our society being
Yes.
kind of like, you know, more integrated than ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I really liked the kind of the theme of the movie. The acting, the voice acting was really good, I thought.
Right.
Also the art. I mean, just the characters themselves. They had like a lot of both facial expressions and really clever uses of non-expressions.
Right.
Like that really long take of Obasan, just like like with the expressionless face.
Right.
When she's just trying to like size him up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a really cool shot.
Yeah, and for animation to be able to sort of convey that without having actual human, you know, expression to look
It's
at.
crazy
Yeah.
if you look at how much like sometimes the face will be composed of like 4 or 5 lines.
Uh-huh.
But
And
they
it's
can
conveying
it's
so
conveying
much.
so much real human
Yeah,
emotion that you
yeah.
can recognize.
Yeah. So, geez, yeah, there's that. Kenzie, I should have taken notes. I'm forgetting all kinds of shit.
I always
Yeah.
take notes.
I
now.
I
Damn
usually
it.
do too, but I was drinking too heavy to take notes tonight.
No,
I'm like,
you
I
gotta
can't be
take
bothered
notes.
with that.
Yeah.
I can't write stuff. I got a beer in my hand.
I
My
know.
notes, seriously, are like, I don't know, main character hot.
Bone Zone? Yes.
Yes.
Bone Zone? Why? BZ?
Yeah.
Question mark? Why? Okay, so Dr. Matlis, stars?
Oh, stars. I would say probably. I'm like right there with John. It's like if I could give it a 3.5,
Right,
Yeah.
I'd give it a 3.5.
right.
I agree. I changed mine to 3.5 too.
Well, oh, jeez.
Mine was
3.5.
now it's
Up
3.5.
from 2.
Oh,
It was.
That's
No.
a big
Jesus
jump.
3 to
Christ.
3.5.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm hoping for 4 on
I
her.
heard it too somewhere in there.
if you're lucky.
Okay. All right.
Zone.
Well, so I
Send me,
guess
like, a
that
nice
that brings
message
it to
that
me.
day, like, hey, Kenzie, thinking of you.
Oh,
Like,
also,
oh,
Speaking
pretty,
to the mic.
pretty awesome battle scenes too.
Yes.
There's some good fight animation in there.
All right. Me. Summer Wars.
Me.
how did you feel about this movie?
Well, I was having a hard time deciding between Summer Snores or Bummer Wars.
What about Summer Boars?
I thought about
God
Bummer
damn.
Snores.
Bummer Boars?
You're a sore loser.
Straight up,
Both
one, this
of 'em.
movie is a piece of shit. The worst fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so let's get real about Summer Wars here. I'm just kidding about the whole Bummer Snores. Okay, so the real deal with Summer Wars is that I had seen it before.
You have?
I had, yes. That's part of why I didn't vote for it. But I did enjoy it. The first time I watched it was the English dub. So I was going on that. So the couple of things that I want to say about this film. Firstly, to anybody that might be listening to this and considering watching the film Summer Wars, regardless of the talent of the people that might have performed the dubbed roles, please do not watch this film dubbed. It is better with subtitles and the original performances. Not just because of that, but because the film is sanitized in the dubbed version.
I love dubbed anime.
I recall no fucks being uttered in
Yep.
the dubbed version,
They always clean it up.
and I don't like that. As a student of film, as a film scholar, a budding scholar, to toot my own horn.
Toot toot.
Is that what you call it?
I prefer, yeah, right. I I want to see what the director wanted. I don't want to see what somebody else thought would be cool to change because you're fucking dubbing it anyways and you can fucking do what you want. No, I want what the director wanted. And if you're trying to give me something else, fuck you, because that's not the fucking film I'm trying to see. So that being said, I feel that the subtitled version is a far more accurate way to view the film than the fucking dubbed version, even if some of the performances are okay. Because I love Mike Sinter-Nicholas, who is the lead in the film in the dubbed version, who's Dean Venture, who's a wonderful voice actor.
Yeah, and he does a great job.
But it was so much better getting the subtitles and seeing what was really.
Yeah, I always think subbed is better than dubbed.
The animation in the film is strikingly beautiful. Particularly the Oz stuff, because it's so sort of unique, and it looks like nothing else, and your eyes just go nuts trying to like take all this shit in, and it is beautiful. The film to me actually almost like I feel like it could be like a Ghibli film. Like
it almost could. It's got that sort of like
that heart.
Right, there's a heart to it, and it sort of like treads the line between like there's fantastical things going on, but the normal everyday stuff feels so real.
Yeah.
It feels so like real life.
It
true
just
to life.
has that sort of, and even though Ghibli films deal with fantastical elements, there's a down-to-earthness about them.
Right.
Oh, is it Ghibli? Okay, I've always heard of Ghibli, but I believe you. Ghibli. There's a down-to-earthness even...
Huh?
It's Ghibli.
I always heard
I've
Ghibli
heard
too.
it pronounced Ghibli in like multiple things. Yeah.
Dude, this is a
don't know, my
mystery for the
Uh-oh.
ages.
Drunkenness. I've
Ghibli's
always
on
pronounced it
Thanksgiving.
Ghibli. Studio
But
Ghibli.
but anyways, regardless of how you pronounce it, it had that kind of holy shit. It had that kind of a feel. So there was a lot of heart to it. Also, as I've mentioned, it in a way it's a retread of the Skynet idea, sort of at its core. In that this premise that this technology we've created will sort of find a point to take over, and when it does, we are not going to like the results, nor how difficult it might be to try to fight back. But with that, even though it was a retread of the Skynet idea, it's a totally different take on it and a totally different way of conveying that. And I felt it was really about today. Like it felt, you know what I mean? Like just like we were talking about a minute ago, like with the stock market and shit. This is like because Japan's ahead of us technologically.
Yeah.
So they made this film a few years back, and it's to a point in America now where we're looking at the same thing now, and it's like,
Well, and that's the world we're living in, and we're going to be living in.
that's what's going to happen. Like I swear to God, like one of the next, terrorism. There's going to be a big terrorist attack that's going to be like cyber only. It's going to be like some Fight Club shit or something. Like, what are you trying to do in Fight Club? Like, by blowing up the fucking banks and the credit card companies and, like, resetting at zero. That's what's straight up. And this totally... also, too, because I also saw it as a reflection of how willing people are to give their autonomy up to virtual shit. The idea that you would pay money to Xbox for a new shirt for your avatar is fucking ludicrous to me.
You buy things that don't actually exist.
To even though money doesn't really exist, it still is like a real like concept and a real thing that like affects life. So to think that you would trade that valuable real life commodity for like a fucking shirt on your avatar just blows my fucking mind. And in a way, I don't want to call Somewhere satire, but it certainly does kind of examine sort of the people's like willingness to just do that. Or it reminded me of the second episode of the first season of Black Mirror too.
Yeah.
The way people are just sort of trapped in. It's like even though you've got real life now, like your life is really for you contained within these virtual parameters, kind of a thing. So I thought there was a lot of subtext going on, just a lot of current kind of issues that futurists and philosophers and scientists might want to speculate on. And a number of different ways to kind of interpret that and talk about what it was trying to say, where it was going, that kind of thing. So I think Summer Wars is a tremendously successful film.
How many stars?
Well, hang on now. Because for some reason, both times I've watched this film, I have a real failure to connect with it emotionally. And while I appreciate what it's doing and where it's going, for me, it's like you could flush the first fucking everything but the last 45 minutes down the toilet. In a way. Like, because it's so much about, like, there's the family thing and all that, but really the people, like, the kid that, like, saves the fucking day, like, it could have been anybody. You know what I mean? Like,
true.
really, like,
They
all
don't
the
establish any characters,
well,
really.
that's it. Kind of all of that important interpersonal shit. It kind of figures into, like, the climax, the way it plays out, but not really. Like, so that by the time we get to where the film for me really starts to pick up, like, that stuff before was cute, but, like, I kind of just don't give a shit. But I'm really into, like, kind of what it does in the finale, kind of. And I'm not saying that the film is bad at all. I think it's it's a great, it's wonderfully executed. But for some reason, and this isn't about like it not having the gravitas to be the 100th pick or anything like that. Because I had this the first time I watched it as well. I can appreciate the film for what it's doing, what it might be trying to say, its technological accomplishments, all that kind of stuff. But for some reason, I just failed to make the kind of emotional connection with the film. And I feel the pacing is just not right for me. It's a little slow for me. So I'm torn. I kind of want to give it 4 stars because I think it's very ambitious. And I don't mean to say ambitious like it fails, like it's successful in its ambitiousness. But at the same time, I just I don't know. I can't decide. 3 or 4 stars.
So 3.5 in theory.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. I'm not sure if I'll bump it up to 4 because of its artistic meritoriousness, or if I will bump it down to 3 because of my inability to be emotionally stimulated by the film.
All right. Well, well said.
So, yeah, I guess that's about time to wrap it up.
I think it's way overdue.
It's been a long podcast. It's been a long day. It's been a long movie series.
And we still didn't do the retrospecticus, so maybe we get to that next week.
We'll have to do a
Yeah,
podcast
because
next
I'm
week.
already like 90% asleep over
Yeah,
here.
no, totally. Well, it's super late and there's super
100
drinking.
films, some of them shitty, some of them good. Boom. there
Check
it is.
the Facebook to decide for
Read
yourself.
the history. Yeah, you make up
They're-
your own goddamn minds.
they're all
I'm not
up
going to do
there.
it for you.
They're up there, and we'll do a retrospecticus hopefully next week.
Hopefully next week. We're going to do this extra stuff
So, yeah,
next week.
so-
Regular back to normal next week. Regular pick back to
You blew it, Oscar,
Yeah,
where we have
cinnamon or glass.
4 to 6 more weeks of You Blew It, Oscar. All right, introduction starting to my left.
I'm John.
I am Zeb.
I'm Kenzie.
I'm Condi.
I'm sleepy.
Sleepy times. I'm Ed, and that'll do it for us for this week. Las Películas Sábados
Goodbye.
Gigantes at the Cinemarijuana Theatre. Thank
For
you
100 movies.
for 100 movies.
100.
Thank everybody. You guys are the best, and we'll be back with you next week. Thank you.